Tamara, are you with us?
Yes, I am with you.
Good deal. Thank you. It is 3:10. Going to call this meeting to order, and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Very good. For the record, Tamara, let's just show that we have City Councilman Altman and Shalong here, and from the county we have Supervisor Howard, Borges, and Short. At this time, we will enter our public comment period. Anyone wishing to make public comment regarding matters either on or off the agenda and within the commission's jurisdiction may do so at this time. However, the commission is not permitted to act on non-agendized items. Is there any public comment? Mackenzie, do we have any public online? Do we have Tasha Allstrand with us?
Tasha Allstrand is here as a panelist, and Rick Borges with the CHP is an attendee.
Very good. Thank you. Okay, so now we'll adjourn to the policy, or I guess I'm going to close public comment and now adjourn to the Policy Advisory Committee and take up our first item, the 2023-24 Climate Adaptation and Strategic Partnership Transportation Planning Grants Application Assistance Contract.
Okay, so this is actually a three-part decision, and I need authorization to approve the contract, a resolution adopted to move the money, and an authorization to submit the grant application, which we don't always do here, but in this case, I thought it was important. So that I originally, talked to Tasha about this, Tasha Allstrand with Caltrans about this grant opportunity, and we had a bit of a meeting talking about the status of US 101 at South Beach and the flooding that we have somewhat routinely there. My initial take on it was, Caltrans owns and operates a state highway system. How is this my work? And so as sort of after getting over my cranky behavior, and a conversation with John Olson about Elk Valley Road, I started really thinking about when Highway 101 is closed, what happens to our local roadway system? And for me, that was a turning point in my attitude about the importance of the planning for US 101 at South Beach, because Elk Valley Road, as an example, isn't really going to be able to handle the US 101 traffic, regardless of the direction that folks turn, but especially if they turn, what would that be, northeast, and headed to Highway 199, go through all that narrow road, those blind curves, the hilly section there. If you think about the US 101 traffic on Elk Valley Road, it's quite concerning, especially since we already know we have problems on Elk Valley Road. So I think this is maybe my fourth special meeting in 15 years in this job. So having a special meeting is very special for me. And but I thought it was important for us to get started. So after thinking about this a little bit more, I contacted an engineering firm, Dockin Engineering, and talked to Brian Stevenson, who is a good writer. Brian Stevenson was the primary writer for the Elk Valley Crossroad Multimodal Corridor Plan. He did a really good job. So if you'd like to see an example of his work in taking a complicated topic and writing in a way that's meaningful and understandable, I think he did a really good work on that. I gave him a call. He said, yes, he would be willing to help us with this. I put together this agenda packet, and here we are. So after posting the agenda, I received a phone call from Wes White with the Harbor District, and Wes had an idea that maybe we should include Harbor's recently flooded road, is that Anchorway? I can't keep them
Anchorway,
straight.
yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so because it's a similar problem in really the same area. So there's a conversation that I've just started today in with the Harbor District, and with them potentially being a partner with us, including Anchorway in the transportation planning, and they believe it's a good idea. I've only had a couple emails, but they believe it's a good idea. So we may decide to bring them in as not maybe a co-applicant, a sub-applicant. I'm not sure the language on a planning grant, should we decide to move forward with it. There is a 13 point, maybe a 12 point something, I can't remember. There's a small percentage of match funding that's required for the grant, but in-kind contributions are acceptable. And frankly, I would be spending that time working on it anyway. So it just has to do with time tracking, as far as I can see, in a contribution for this. It does not have to be a cash match for the funding that we would receive for the grant. I don't know how much the grant would be for. Right now, we just need to decide to move forward. And through this process of doing the scoping and applying, we would end up with a dollar amount. I mean, I'm just, thinking $120,000, $150,000 study. $100,000 is the minimum, but this is, it's a grant application, so time is of the essence, which is why we have a special meeting, which is why I need to sole source consultant assistance for this small amount. 12.5 is not a large amount to sole source. And so I'd like to know what you all think, and whether you would like me to go forward or not. That's why we're here today.
Very good, Tamara. Thank you very much. I love your self-awareness there, knowing that you were cranky and now you're over it. Is there any comments from the commissioners for Tamara in this item? Mr. Howard.
I can't think of a wiser, more efficient pursuit of time right now, especially with all the sea level rise conversation across the state, that we should be pursuing this grant opportunity and the attachments Tamara has spoken about.
Very good. Anybody else?
I was just thinking maybe we could divert the traffic from Klamath around to Elk
All the way.
Valley, bypass Last Chance Grade,
There
and
you go.
be done with it.
Okay, well, great. Yeah. Before us is these three items: the adopting Resolution 2023-02, allocating the $12,500 in planning, programming, and monitoring. Second part is authorizing the executive director to execute that contract with Docket Engineering. And third, authorizing her to submit the climate adaptation strategic partnership transportation planning grant application.
I'd move to approve as read into the record by Chair Short.
Got a motion
I'll second that.
and a second? All in favor? Aye. Oh, is there any public comment? Thank you, Supervisor Howard. Appreciate that. Is there any public comment on this item? No public comment online either. Okay, I'll close the public comment period. And now could we vote all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Tasha, I didn't hear you.
Aye, yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So it's a unanimous. Just let the record show that. And now we'll move on to item 6. We're going to adjourn as the Policy Advisory Committee and reconvene as the Norte Transportation Commission, and by poll vote approve and adopt the actions taken by the Policy Advisory Committee. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a second. And we have a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I think we need to pull this vote.
Yeah, Tamara, go ahead.
I think we need to pull this vote.
We do need to pull the vote. Okay.
I think so, because there's a contract and funding involved. And Susan Brown is on the call to do so.
Oh, very good. I wasn't aware. Okay. Susan, would you mind polling the vote, please?
Not at all, but I need to know the members' names that are on the panel.
We open public comment for the same items. Gotcha, but I think. we-
Tamara, can you give me the members' names? on
I'm
the
sorry,
panel?
Susan, yes,
Yeah.
we have, City Councilman Ray Altman, City Councilwoman Kelly Shalom. We have, Supervisor Chris Howard, Supervisor Joey Borges, and myself, Supervisor Darren Short.
Okay, great. Thank you there. I know there's two new faces in the crowd today.
So
So-
I'll follow up with you, Susan.
Okay, great. Okay, so we'll start with Commissioner Altman.
Yes.
Commissioner Howard.
Yes.
Okay, Commissioner Shalone, I have that right?
Yes.
Okay, Commissioner Borges,
Yes.
Tasha Alstrand.
Uh,
I don't think I vote on this one.
Oh, you're right. My apologies. And Chair Short.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, Tamara, are we squared away now?
We're good to go.
Okay, we're gonna adjourn this meeting then until the next regular meeting of the Transportation Commission, which is on Tuesday, February 7th at 3.
And we
Thank you all
will,
for
I
coming.
believe we will be having that meeting.
Okay, all right, thank you, Tamara.
Yep, thank you all for your extra time.
You bet.
Thank you.